in the beginning of my relationships, there were certain lessons and there were certain patterns. And as I continued going from one relationship to the next, many of the lessons and the patterns was repeating. So it is as if life was trying to teach me and to show me what I need to learn, what I need to shift, what I need to grow, what I need to heal.
Mm.
What we do not heal, that's the things in our life that keeps repeating. When you can see what you need to do to heal, it's much easier to know and to apply it into your own life. What you heal, you do not repeat in your life. Awareness is the first step in the process of healing. I think life asks of us to live a life of congruence and authenticity.
Absolutely.
What we think, what we say, what we do, that must be in alignment with one another.
Mm.
And that must also be in alignment with our values and our beliefs.
Mm.
What I love about untangling the unhealthy soul tie is like it's this knot. And this knot, inside a knot, it holds a certain amount of energy.
Mm.
It holds a certain pattern. And in that, there's a lesson. As we're doing the work, we're untangling the knots, untangling the lessons, the insight, the wisdom.
And releasing the patterns.
And that's how we release the pattern. And now as we release the pattern, there's much more energy available for us.
Mm.
And now we can use that energy for our own personal growth journey as well. That's the beauty of this work. There's such a lot of healing and growth and opportunity in order to heal and to expand.
Absolutely. And I think the important thing to also realize is that healing is not linear. There's no silver bullet that miraculously just fixes everything once off. It's a process. And there is no end destination of perfection either. You know, as we learn and grow and integrate parts of ourselves, the parts that are stuck in those soul ties that we might not even know about ourselves, or that we've disowned or rejected or suppressed, as we integrate more of those of ourselves, we actually align more with our best and highest expression of ourselves. When that happens with every growth step, we expand and open up to a whole new set of challenges to learn and grow from.
It's a continuous process.
It's a never-ending story. Yes. So there's no end destination.
That's a big aha moment I had to realize in my life.
Yes.
Because in the beginning of my healing journey, I thought, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this.
And then I'm going to arrive. And then everything's going to be perfect. And everything's just going to fall into place. We are so programmed in our own worlds to achieve things. So it is, once I've achieved that, once I've arrived at that destination, once I am this and this, or good at this or this, or once I've become, then only can, ... whatever. But in a way, that is postponing life. So rather than postponing life, rather be present right now, right here, in this moment, and enjoy this moment, but walk consciously through life, choosing with the intention to grow and expand all the time. Freedoms that we can attain is the realization and the acceptance that there is no end destination.
It's liberating, but it's actually such an amazing journey to be on. You know, there's so much to learn. Because if there was no end destination, the learning would have stopped.
Yes.
And then the growth would have stopped.
Exactly.
That's why there's no end destination.
And we live in an ever-expansive universe. Everything is either expanding or contracting. And that goes for human beings as well. So we are either growing and expanding, or we are contracting and becoming smaller, less of our true selves, a smaller expression of life.
Someone else said that if you do not grow, you actually die. It's like a tree. If the tree stops growing,
busy dying.
Yeah.
So what does expansion look like in a human being? So let me give an example. Think of it this way. If you become aware of a blind spot or an aspect in your life that is actually limiting you, holding you back, or it's resulting in experiences in life that you don't want anymore. When you become aware of it and you decide to do something about it, in that moment, you actually expand your awareness. Now, if you consciously take action to bring about change, life will support that effort to grow. And you will encounter opportunities, tools, people, and experiences that will help you grow. And then, if you embrace those opportunities and you make use of those opportunities that you find along the way, you will actually gain insight. You might gain new skills. You might make new friends, encounter new experiences. Ultimately, what will be happening is you will be experiencing yourself expanding and your world expanding. And I think we all know, we've all experienced that. But now, on the contrary, if you remain in that limited situation or keep repeating the limited pattern over and over, you actually contracting. And soon you will notice your self-expression and your world shrinking.
I think that has a direct effect on your self-esteem and your self-worth. Many times in unhealthy soul ties, we give our power away. Then we're actually not expanding, we're actually contracting.
Yes, and expansion and contraction is part of human life. You know, you'd be expanding in one area in life, contracting on the other. But I think it's about a conscious focus on a continuous growth and a continuous learning.
Yes,
Yes, and as you make choices that are more in alignment with your true values, your true beliefs, who you really are, you start living, like you said earlier, more in congruence, a life of congruence, a life of unity, put differently. But what is unified? You are unified. It is those aspects of you that were stuck in those soul ties that you might not even be aware of, that's freed up for you to integrate within yourself again so that you can become more of your authentic self.
You become more whole.
Yeah, more wholesome, ultimately.
More of you.
Exactly. Another thing is, as you grow and heal, you might also outgrow people and outgrow situations, and then you leave that behind. You know, they might be in a previous stage of your life.
As we move up in consciousness, we automatically leave certain patterns, certain behaviors, certain ways of being we leave behind.
But you're actually leaving your old self behind.
Moving up to that better version, that higher potential of your own being. We all know there's more. I'm becoming aware that there's more, that I can actually achieve it, and I start to believe in my more.
Yes, exactly. So it's not a comparison to external people, although you might leave external people behind because your resonance on activities and choices and expressions of yourself might differ. And what is incongruence for another person, their highest expression of themselves might not be where you are at, and what is the highest expression of yourself. Everybody is on their own learning journey. Everybody is dealing with their own wounds, dealing with their own lessons. And every human being's journey is unique and special in their own way. Yeah. So it's not to make a comparison. It's about ourselves and moving up in our own beingness to gain a higher perspective of ourselves and a more congruent expression of ourselves.
It's definitely not a journey of ego.
No.
You know, as we heal and shift and change and transform, we actually are moving up in consciousness. When we move up in consciousness, sometimes there's a bit of fear. It's the fear of the unknown. And there's sometimes a bit of resistance. Because sometimes in our lives, we still want to choose the old way of being, how it was, you know? And that's all we know. So in order to change, it says, I need to let go of something. Something in me need to die in order to give birth to something new. Yes. And sometimes we have resistance to let go of the old, even though we know it's no longer serving us. Many times people still keep choosing that, even though they know it's actually destructive for themselves.
Yeah, and moving into your own learning and healing can be painful and uncomfortable, but it's such a necessary part of the growth and expansion journey. If you choose that, it's unavoidable.
What I've also realized on our journey is like there's always support. As you go on the journey, you think, how am I going to get through it? And I'm alone. But as you go through this journey, you realize support always shows up in the most magnificent, amazing way. But I realized that I need to have the willingness, I need to have the capacity, I need to have the availability within myself in order for life to support me.
You have to make the choice.
I have to make the choice. If I make the choice, it's like life sees me.
Thank you for listening. And if this resonated with you and you would like to learn more about smart relationships, like and subscribe and look out for more videos on relationships.
I must have caught you at a bad time.